Yo, it's me, Captain Gold, and you're watching yet another gold standard beginner's guide to Project Zomboid. And in this specific guide, I'll be breaking down the sorts of preparations you need to make in-game if you plan on surviving past the shutdown of utilities, and if you also plan to survive the winter and beyond. So get your inner doomsday prepper ready, as this concise guide is a must-watch if you want to get beyond beginner level play. With that said, let's begin by covering the essentials. Before the power and water shut off, you're going to want to secure a safe haven of some sort. Shelter ought to be your primary goal because you can't meet the other requirements for long-term survival if you get eaten up in your sleep. If you want tips on what a good base looks like and where to find good base locations, check out my Base Basics guide. That being said, before you establish a permanent base, you're going to want to secure the holy trinity of Zomboid and a bag, which is something I cover in my month-long survival guide series. But such a short-term goal is fairly easy to meet. Hence, the first step in long-term survival is securing a permanent base. Once you've secured shelter, you're going to want to secure a sustainable supply of fresh or potable water. You can do this by settling close to a lake or by setting up shop by a well. Just remember to boil any water gathered from a lake. You can also secure your access to water by building water collectors and boiling the water. To do this, you'll need garbage bags, nails, and wooden planks, along with level 4 in carpentry. You can even plumb a sink to one of these collectors so long as the sink is underneath the collector in an enclosed location or structure. You can plumb up to 9 collectors to one sink. The result of using such a system is that the rainwater collected by said collectors will be instantly purified into drinkable water. While the water and power are still on, I'd recommend filling up all empty bottles with fresh water. You can even build an indoor rain collector to store said fresh water as a long-term reserve, which will be very useful during the winter. Don't forget to grab some water dispensers, which contain 250 units of potable water. They can be moved quite easily, can be plumbed to a sink, and can be refilled if needed. There's also a ton of them scattered throughout the map, often in office buildings and government service buildings. Also, don't forget that fresh water will remain in sinks, tubs, and toilets after the water shuts off. After you've secured water reserves, you'll want to secure a source of power. To do this, you'll need to find at least 2 generators, empty gas cans, and a how-to-use generators magazine. Once you learn how to connect generators, you can then set one up at your base to secure your ability to preserve food. Then you can hook one up to a gas station to secure access to a bountiful supply of gasoline after the power shuts off. Remember that generators need fuel, so grab some fuel before the power runs out. Also keep in mind that these machines need to be maintained. Never let the generator's condition fall below 20% or it may blow the fuck up. You can repair a generator with scrap electronics. Generators also power everything within a 20-tile radius and they make noise in a 10-tile radius. Oh, and don't ever place an active generator indoors where you sleep. Doing that is a great way to switch teams overnight. Once you secure a power source for refrigeration, you're gonna want to develop a sustainable food source. You can do this by farming, trapping, or fishing, which I have a detailed guide on, by the way. You'll want to start a farm first, which gets you bait for trapping and fishing. Then you'll want a heat source like a campfire, grill daddy, propane grill, or oven so that you can cook your meals to get the most out of them. Then you'll want an icebox freezer for long-term food preservation. These bad boys have a ton of storage capacity. Hence, they are a must-have for any permanent base. When you're prepping for the winter, you'll want an antique oven to heat up your base, and you'll also want to find some winter clothing. You'll also want to build up a stockpile of non-perishable food for the winter. Food is actually very easy to gather during the warmer seasons, but during winter, it can get quite difficult if you're not near urban areas which are stocked to the brim with canned food. One requirement for long-term survival which can land anywhere on this progression chart is the need for transportation. Depending on where you're surviving, you may need a car immediately or after your base is set up. So go ahead and place that on your list of priorities or essentials. Speaking of cars, I also have a tremendous guide on vehicles, so please check it out. Last but certainly not least, you'll need weaponry and tools which you can find by simply garnering some map knowledge. Speaking of map knowledge, check out my town guide or simply go check out the official map online. Anyways, that concludes this short gold standard beginner's guide to Project Zomboid. If you like this sort of content, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that notification icon so that you may be notified when I publish a new video. Also remember that you may opine anytime if you feel so inclined down in the comments section. This specific guide was also chosen by you, the viewer, via this poll. As you can see, your golden captain does listen to his viewers. With that said, I'm Captain Gold and I hope to see you in my next video.